Good evening, world. It's 5:51 p.m. I just woke up. Today will be another very interesting video on the Ivan's Commenting News Show series. I'm going to be covering a very interesting topic here from the Hollywood Reporter. It's about Black Adam 2 not moving forward as part of new DC's first chapter. I believe John Campea covered this on his channel today, so I'll be covering the same news on today, and I might perhaps do another article, perhaps. So I just want to clarify something. Remember today when I said there's a rumor that Henry Cavill fired his agent? Yeah, apparently that's not true. So I did say it's a rumor out there. He said supposedly Henry Cavill fired his agent, Dwayne The Rock Johnson's ex-wife, obviously. It's also Dwayne Johnson's agent too, I believe. And Henry Cavill said that's not true. So he debunked the people, obviously. Hence why whenever people post stuff on all these sites, obviously, if it's not on Variety or Hollywood Reporter, you got to be careful about believing some of the stuff. Some of it could be inaccurate. That's why I said a rumor. Apparently there's a rumor out there. It was a rumor, obviously. So Henry Cavill debunked that rumor. It's not true, obviously. He did not fire his agent. Yep. He did not fire his agent, obviously. So today you're looking at a very interesting video. This is from the Hollywood Reporter. The title is Black Adam 2. Not moving forward as part of new DC's first chapter. This is by Aaron Couch Boris Kit, and it was published today at 2:11 p.m. So it's a fresh article, obviously. Obviously, yeah. It was published yesterday. Yesterday at 2:11 p.m. Today is the 21st. So it was published yesterday at 2:11 p.m. So I'm gonna keep saying is James Gunn and Peter Safran are applying to reboot the DC franchise, obviously, and Black Adam 2 is most likely not a part of that new DC franchise for many reasons. Dwayne Johnson himself could not sell his movie, and Dwayne Johnson's a powerful actor. Most of his movies that he makes are all hits, but unfortunately, his Black Adam superhero movie was not a hit. It flopped, obviously. It had like about a $200 million budget, and the movie couldn't even push to 400 million. It couldn't even make $400 million, which means the movie did not even break even. It lost money. Black Adam, I believe, was made for. Let me check here. How much was Black Adam made for? I can do the math here before I read the article here. I can talk Babylon for a bit. Black Adam budget. How much was it made for? That way I can see if they made money or not. So according to Google here, Wikipedia, it says it grossed $391 million worldwide against a production budget of $195 to $260 million. Obviously, by some estimates, failing to recoup its total costs after marketing and distribution costs, resulting in publication delays as the box office bomb. Yeah, Black Adam lost money. And I know Dwayne Johnson's doing his very best to act like his movie made money, but look, my numbers don't lie. The movie was made for $195 to $260 million, and it only made $391. That is not profitable. That movie lost money. It was a flop, obviously. So Dwayne Johnson, the biggest movie star in the world, couldn't even sell his Black Adam movie for multiple reasons. As John Campea said in his show, obviously, no one really knows the character of Black Adam. Whenever I heard Black Adam was coming, I'm like, who the fuck is Black Adam? I don't know who Black Adam is. And everyone knows Superman, but no one knows who Black Adam is. But Dwayne Johnson did whatever he could to promote his movie. He has a large following. He has like hundreds of millions of fans on his social media. Let me check here. Dwayne Johnson's. Let me check Dwayne Johnson's. Let's do Instagram. Let's see how much fans he has on Instagram here. Yeah, he has 354 million followers on Instagram, Dwayne Johnson. So he has like the largest following for a fucking Hollywood celebrity. His fans all knew about his Black Adam movie, and yet his movie couldn't make any money. Don't hate me, Dwayne Johnson, I'm saying. His movie still couldn't make any money, I'm saying. Hence why Black Adam 2 is most likely not happening, obviously. It's most likely not happening, I'm saying. And Dwayne Johnson's a big actor. He's a big, powerful actor. The guy can sell his movies. You look at his Jumanji movies, you know what I'm saying? His Rampage movie did like 400 some $1 million. He did that Tower movie. Remember that movie that he did? I forget what it's called. Um, I'll just say it came out 2008. I remember seeing it on theaters. He was like a disabled man, whatever it is. Dwayne Johnson 2018 movies. I forget what it was called. Skyscraper. There you go. That was the movie I saw. Skyscraper. Skyscraper was what? I believe did five. It did $304 million on probably on a smaller budget, obviously, right? What was the budget of that movie? $125 million. $125 million. So Skyscraper broke even or made very little profit, or perhaps it lost money. $125 million. The movie made $300 million. I don't know how much money they spent on marketing that movie, but Skyscraper did $300 million, and that movie wasn't even that big, obviously. And what? And Black Adam only did $391 million. It lost money, man. It was made for $195 to $260 million. The movie lost a lot of money, man. It lost probably a good, I don't know, maybe like $100 million. Let's say if the studio spent $195 million. My guess is $195 to $260 million probably includes marketing costs, maybe, or not. Let's say if they put $200 million towards Black Adam and they put another $100 million towards the movie, that's $300 million. $300 million, obviously. The movie lost money, obviously. As the movie Black Adam needs to make what? Like 500 million to be profitable, man. Around there. 500 million. My guess is they put maybe 200 million towards the movie, and maybe a good maybe 50 million towards marketing for Black Adam. Maybe 30 million towards marketing. So Disney has to pay back the loan. They gotta recoup what their investment, obviously. Yeah, Black Adam had to do like 450, 460, 500 million just to break even, man. As the movie lost money, it was a flop, obviously. That's why James Cameron's not moving forward with Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam. Because the movie, so Dwayne Johnson's chances are there will not be a future for him in the new DC universe, obviously, because his Black Adam movie flopped. Since there, his Black Adam movie flopped. Obviously, I hope you guys don't hear the noise of the laptop. Obviously, I hope you guys don't hear the noise of the laptop. And after this video, I'm gonna go take my shower, get my beer and smokes, and I might buy a cheesecake for myself today. I have not had cheesecake in a long time. I'm gonna go to the store and I'm gonna get myself that cheesecake, my New York cheesecake. And I'll eat. I'm not gonna get any food. I'll just eat the food at home to save money, obviously. But I'm gonna get a cheesecake for myself at the store, at the grocery store. I'm gonna get a cheesecake, obviously. They sell nice New York cheesecakes here in Elmer at the grocery store. Obviously. Yeah, hence why what Black Panther 2 unfortunately is the most likely not happening, obviously. Just like Aquaman 2, Flash, all those movies, chances are they're not going to be in the new DCU universe. So I'm saying because the old DC brand is what is tanking right now. It's not looking too good right now. All the movies are not making money. They're not doing too well on theaters. The only movies that did good on theaters were Aquaman and Wonder Woman, the first movie. All the other movies they all did like under $400 million. Yeah, sad truth about DC. All their movies are doing under like $400 million. They're like, so there's obviously not what there's not a demand for the DC films. The fans are showing that they don't care about the DC universe. Whereas Marvel fans go in to go see those movies, and the movies are all making 800, $1 billion plus dollars. I'm saying 800 million, $1 billion plus dollars. You see the difference when you compare Marvel to DC brand, obviously. That's why David Zaslav fired Walter Hamada, and he hired a new team, a new group of people. He hired what? James Gunn and Peter Safran, the heads of DC Studio, to run the DC Studios, and then so far they've made some pretty bold moves, letting Henry Cavill go, obviously, letting Patty Jenkins go. Gal Gadot's most likely on her way out, as they're not doing Wonder Woman 3, hence Gal Gadot's most likely on her way out. Unless they include some of the old characters in the new DC universe, which I highly doubt they're going to do. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea at all. Because what? Because if you want to start fresh, you got to start with fresh characters. Don't bring in the old baggage and have it be a part of your new DC universe. Otherwise, it can create confusion. Your store can be a mess. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I know the Aquaman movie did $1 billion, but if you include that in a new DC franchise, you can create a real mess in your franchise, obviously. Because, okay, why is Jason Momoa in the new DC universe but not Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot? What happened to those? And the fans are going to ask, okay, if Jason Momoa is in the new DC universe, what happened to Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot? They're part of that old universe too. What happened to them? It creates, you have a mess in your hands, obviously. Is the old DC universe still going on? No. It's retcon, obviously. So if it's retcon, what the heck is Jason Momoa doing there as Aquaman? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that's why I recommend James Gunn and Peter Safran, they don't include any of the old DCU characters in the new DC universe. Otherwise, you can create a mess in your franchise. Just start fresh with new characters, and a new story, a new vision, and you'll do better, obviously. Which I think they're most likely going to do. I think they're going to start completely fresh with a new character, new characters, new vision, new everything. Right, I'll start reading the article. I've been babbling on for 12 minutes now. You guys better enjoy this series while you can. Because once I'm king, I'm peace on Ouija. You're not seeing him. Keep saying that. So the title is from the Hollywood Reporter: Black Adam 2 not moving forward as part of new DC's first chapter. Dwayne Johnson says he has connected with James Gunn and will seek to use the character down the road. This is by Aaron Couch Boris Kit, whatever his name is. And it was published yesterday at 2:11 p.m. Now I'm going to read the article. This will probably be a 15-minute video, guys. And I'll shut this camera off here. And you guys will enjoy my video. You better enjoy it while you can. I'm saying that. All right. Start the article off here. The headline off here, right? The hierarchy of power did change at DC. As I mentioned earlier, Peter Safran and James Gunn are now the heads of DC Studios. Just not in the way Dwayne Johnson intended to be, obviously. So Dwayne Johnson, I heard he pushed for Black Adam to be made for many years. You know what I'm saying? He had a lot of power in this movie. He was very involved in the production of this movie and with his $7 production company, and his movie flopped. Don't hate me, Dwayne Johnson. Black Adam was a massive flop, obviously. Black Adam, the DC superhero movie that Dwayne Johnson starred and produced, was to have launched a new franchise, but Johnson announced Tuesday that plans for sequel were halted and will not be moving forward anytime soon. Yeah, because the movie flopped. Hence why the chances are they will not be doing a Black Adam 2. It wouldn't make any sense for James Gunn of them to do a Black Adam 2 when Black Adam, the first one, flopped, obviously. Will the second one do better? Perhaps. The second one might maybe do $450 million. But the studios were expecting a $600 million, $600 million, $700 million for Black Adam, for the Black Adam movie, obviously. They were expecting something like $600, $650, $700 million. And it only made $391 million. It was a massive flop, man. It flopped. It was a terrible movie. I heard the movie was pretty good, but I heard the quality of story was not that great. It had bad writing. The writing wasn't great. The characters were not the greatest. But the movie was a fun, entertaining watch, I heard. Right? So Dwayne Johnson was obviously hoping they made a Black Panther franchise, obviously. I don't know, 2-3 movie trilogy. But because the movie flopped, that chances are it's not going to happen anymore, so I'm saying. The move comes as new DC studio bosses James Gunn and Peter Safran, installed just weeks after the movie's October release, reshaped the entire DC slate with projects such as Henry Cavill's Man of Steel sequel. So they were supposed to do according to this article, they're supposed to do a Man of Steel sequel, like I mentioned earlier, a while ago, right? Henry Cavill announced, I'm coming back, I might do Man of Steel 2. And in the moment, this is before David Zaslav hired Peter Safran and James Gunn as the heads of DC Studios. And a month later, he gets the news that his agents, he gets the news that he's out as Superman, obviously. That's why some fans think they did him dirty. James Gunn and Peter Safran did Henry Cavill dirty. I don't think so. I think it's very professional, obviously. But some fans might think they did Henry Cavill dirty, obviously. And Henry Cavill's probably a bit ticked off because he obviously loved playing the role of Superman, obviously. Since there. So I'll repeat this again. The move comes as new DC studio bosses James Gunn and Peter Safran installed just weeks after the movie's October release. So they were hired right a couple weeks after Black Adam came out on theaters, obviously. Reshaped the entire universe. Like I said earlier, they're going to reboot the franchise, obviously. DC slate with projects such as Henry Cavill's Man of Steel sequel and Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 3 falling by the wayside. Yeah, Man of Steel 2 is no longer happening, and Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 3 is no longer happening. As they let Patty Jenkins go, and they let Henry Cavill go. That's why Peter Safran... So obviously, Patty Jenkins and Henry Cavill, they don't fit in Peter Safran's and James Gunn's new DC universe. They don't fit the bill for the new DC universe. Yeah, you guys don't fit with our vision. We're gonna have to let you go. Obviously, there. Now they're quoting James Gunn here. Sorry, they're quoting Dwayne Johnson here. Okay? James Gunn and I connected, and Black Adam will not be their first chapter of storytelling, Johnson wrote in a statement today. However, DC and $7 have agreed to continue to explore the most valuable ways Black Adam will utilize in the DC universe, DC multiple universe chapters, obviously. So according to this, obviously, Dwayne Johnson saying that what? DC and $7, which is his production, Dwayne Johnson production, have agreed to continue to explore the most valuable ways Black Adam could be utilized in the future DC multiple multiverse chapters. Yeah. So who knows? Maybe they might have a Black Adam in a different multiverse in the new DCU universe. I don't know. That's what Dwayne Johnson's saying here. But I personally think that the Black Adam thing is done. I don't think Black Adam will be. I don't think it's a good idea to include. If you're going to include Black Adam in the new DC universe, start with a new Black Adam. Don't start with don't have a Dwayne Johnson Black Adam in the movie, because his first movie tanked. Obviously, I don't know exactly what Dwayne Johnson means there, but he says, however, DC and $7 have agreed to continue exploring the most valuable ways Black Adam can be utilized in the future DC multiverse chapters. So I'm assuming Dwayne Johnson's saying perhaps a Black Adam 2 can happen. I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest. But we'll see what happens, obviously, right? I don't think it's a good idea to have Black Adam in the new DCU universe. The new DCU universe. The movie flopped. Just start fresh with a new actor to play Black Adam if you want him in the movie, obviously. Gunn shared his own statement, writing, "Love at The Rock, and I'm always excited to see what he and $7 do next. Can't wait to collaborate soon." So according to this tweet here, Gunn obviously loves Black Adam, obviously. He loves the movie, obviously. He says love and at The Rock, and I'm always excited to see what he and $7 do next. Can't wait to collaborate soon. So who knows? Maybe Dwayne Johnson might be in the new DC universe. I don't know. Perhaps maybe Dwayne Johnson might have James Gunn might have Dwayne Johnson in the new DC universe. Maybe he might have the Black Adam in the new DC universe. You never know. We'll see what happens, obviously. Maybe James Gunn won't do a full reboot. Maybe he'll do a partial or a half reboot, and he might bring in some old characters. But I told you, if you do that, you can create a messy story, obviously. You can have a lot of contradictions, and it's really messy. Okay, if these old characters are in the new DC universe, then there's what happened? What about all these other guys? What about Henry Cavill? What about Gal Gadot? How come they're not in it? They're part of the old DC universe. Jason Momoa, how come he's not in it? Oh yeah, we retcon that. So you retcon that, and you retcon the old DC universe, but you bring some of the old characters back. It can create a lot of problems for the fans. It's very confusing. Is the old DCU still going on? No, they're in the new DCU universe now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The only way you can make it work if you do something like that is you have something like a multiverse. That's the only way you can make it work, right? But according to James Gunn, he obviously loves The Rock, obviously, as everyone loves The Rock, obviously, and I think James Gunn likes Black Adam. He says, "Love at The Rock. I'm always excited to see what he and Seven Bucks do next. Can't wait to collaborate." Seven Bucks is Dwayne Johnson's production company, obviously. Adam, released October 21st, was a passion project for Johnson, who was attached to play the character for a good 15 years before it hit theaters. So for 15 years, Dwayne Johnson was pushing to get this Black Adam movie made, and it finally got made, and it flopped, obviously. I don't hate you, Dwayne Johnson, I'm saying. During that time, Johnson became one of the biggest actors in the world, and in 2017 used his clout to convince Warner Bros. New Line to develop a solo Black Adam film, which he did, obviously, rather than have the character introduced in Shazam as a villain. In the comics, Black Adam is villain and Shazam's rogue gallery, obviously. So Dwayne Johnson convinced Warner Bros. New Line to develop a solo Black Adam film, which he did, obviously. And so instead of having Black Adam be the villain of Shazam, Dwayne Johnson wanted to make a standalone Black Adam film, obviously. Ahead of its release, Johnson touted plans to develop his own corner of the DC universe centered on Black Adam characters, such as the Justice Society of America, as well as future Black Adam vs. Superman movie. Remember how I said that? I said that there could be a potential Black Adam vs. Superman movie, but I don't know if that's going to happen. That's the thing, though, because the Black Adam movie flopped. I'm saying, but James Gunn, I'm hearing some things that James Gunn obviously loves Dwayne Johnson. He says, "I can't wait to collaborate with him soon." Obviously, so I don't know. Maybe Black Adam might be the new DC universe. I don't know. Maybe we might see a Black Adam vs. Superman movie. But you know what I'm saying? But they already introduced Henry Cavill in the end of Black Adam, I heard, as a cameo. So if you have a Black Adam vs. Superman movie, will Black Adam fight the what? Fight the new Superman in the new DC universe? If you do, it looks very weird because what? Henry Cavill is the one that showed up in Black Adam, not that new, whoever the new Superman's going to be in the future, so I'm saying. And that's why I think they should stay away from bringing in characters from the old DCU into the new universe. It can create problems. You know what I'm saying? You can create problems, and it can be very, very what? It can be very, very messy, so I'm saying. We'll see what James Gunn and Peter Safran do, obviously. Right, so ahead of its release, Johnson touted plans to develop his own corner of the DC universe centered on Black Adam. Characters such as the Justice Society of America, as well as future Black Adam vs. Superman movie. A showdown tease in the post-credit scene that temporarily brought Henry Cavill back as Superman for the first time suggested, yeah, he had a cameo appearance in that Black Adam, but now he's out as Superman, obviously. In many promotional appearances, Johnson even used a phrase that became the movie's unofficial tagline, as he sought to raise his corner of the DC slate to prominence. The hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change. Obviously. The hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change. I don't know exactly what he meant by that, but maybe he was talking about Superman. I don't know. Obviously, but James Gunn said he's excited to collaborate with Dwayne Johnson in the future. So maybe Dwayne Johnson might be in a new DCU universe. I don't know, as a different character. I don't know. Maybe Black Adam's in a new DC universe. I don't know. I don't think that's a good idea. Because Black Adam tanked. It was a flop, man. The movie flopped, obviously. Tanked. Don't hate me, Dwayne Johnson, I'm However, Adam disappointed at the box office with $391 million globally. Yeah, it's flopped, man, and earned poor reviews. That wouldn't necessarily be a problem to launch a sequel if not for several factors. One, the movie was enormously expensive, greenlit at $190 million. The movie cost ballooned to the $260 million mark. So my guess is they paid $190 and they spent like an additional like $70 million in marketing for the movie. Which means Black Adam had to make what? Like $500 million to break even, man. It had to make like 400 to 500 million to break even. Black Adam. It just depends how much money they spend on marketing, right? According to the sources, especially after a costly 20-day round of reshoots undertaken after poor test screening, that does not include marketing costs. Yeah. So when John Campea says Black Adam needs to what? Yeah. Never mind. Forget what I said. The movie will not be profitable theatrically, as noted in December 5th Variety story, which then unleashed a tit for that in the press over a more detailed accounting of the movie's money making. So, Dwayne Johnson, I heard he said the movie made 72 million profit. I'm like, Dwayne, the movie flopped. The numbers don't. If the movie was made for $195 million and it made $391 million, then there's no way it made profit. It flopped, man. It didn't make any money, man. It lost money. It lost probably what? Black Adam lost probably like a good like $50 million to like $50 million or something like that. $40 million. The movie lost money, man. It lost a lot of money, Sarah. The movie will not be profitable theatrically, as noted in the December 5th Variety story, which then unleashed a tit for tat in the press over a more detailed accounting of the movie's money making, with rival Deadline spinning a different tune 2 days later. Johnson weighed in himself about the movie's profitability with a Twitter post. Yeah, so Johnson did his very best to try and make it look like it made profit. He did a creative accounting like, Dwayne, your movie flopped and did not make any money, man. If it was made for $195 million and made $391 million, it did not make profit. If the movie was made for $200 million, it needs to make $400 million just to break even. But don't forget, you have marketing costs, which brings it up to $450, $460 million, or $500 million to break even. My guess is Black Adam needed probably $500 million to break even because they spent money in when you read the article, it says it cost them $195 to $260 million, and that also includes marketing costs. It does not include marketing costs. So my guess is the movie had to do like $500 million, $480 million to break even. Yeah. It lost money. Probably lost like $100 million, Black Adam, man. About $100 million. It lost $50, $100 million. I don't know how much money they spent on marketing, but they probably lost $50 to $100 million in that movie, yeah. Well, it's unsuccessful, obviously. A very unusual move for the actor to produce or producers to make. It also put the actor in defensive crouch and still talking about a potential franchise regarding a movie whose future even then was very much no. Yeah, chances are the cold truth is the Black Adam, the future of Black Adam's not looking too great right now. I don't think they're going to make a sequel to this, and if they do, great. But how is that going to benefit James Gunn and Peter Safran's new DCU universe? If you want to start fresh and reboot your franchise, there's no point in making a Black Adam 2. The movie flopped. It's dead. It's done. Just move on. Cut your losses and what? And cut your losses and what? Cut your losses and focus on building this amazing DC franchise. So regarding a movie whose future even then was very much about, yeah, the chances are, even though James Gunn said, I'm looking forward to collaborate with Dwayne Johnson in the future, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to collaborate with Dwayne Johnson in the future. It does not necessarily mean they're going to do a Black Adam 2 because the movie flopped. James Gunn and Peter Safran are going to look at the numbers. Okay, even though Dwayne Johnson's a big movie star, he could not sell his movie. His movie flopped. The company lost a good $50 to $100 million. I don't think it's best going forward with a Black Adam 2. It's a bad idea, obviously. In recent days, rumors swirled about a feud between Johnson and the studio. Reports surfaced that Johnson unfollowed Warner Bros., Discovery, and Black Adam channels, only to have Johnson come out and say he never followed them in the first place. So apparently there was a rumor about a feud. I highly doubt this is true, but apparently there was a rumor swirled about a feud between Johnson and the studio. Reports surfaced that Johnson unfollowed Warner Bros. So why would Johnson unfollow Warner Bros? I don't know. Discovery and Black Adam channels only to have Johnson come out and say he never followed them in the first place. So that rumor was debunked, obviously. Johnson had not publicly commented on the hiring of Gunn and Safran, with many observers pointing to underlying tension between the two camps. However, Johnson knows that the two have a good relationship. Yeah, chances are James Gunn and Peter Safran, I guarantee you they're very polite, very professional with all these actors. All these directors, all these actors, all these people all say nice things about, yeah, they're very professional. We have a good relationship with them. Some Sarah. Obviously. But think about this. Dwayne Johnson has 345 million followers on his Twitter account. He's been promoting the heck out of his Black Adam movie, and yet had 100 million of Dwayne Johnson's fans saw his movie would have done like $1 billion. Think about that for a sec. Dwayne Johnson has 345 million fans on his social media, on his Instagram, obviously. If 100 million of his fans saw Black Adam, the movie would have grossed $1 billion, $1 billion plus, man. And yet, only what, only like I don't know, like 30 million of his fans saw his movie. The third, so think about it. Dwayne Johnson's fans were not even interested in seeing Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam movie because no one knew who the heck Black Adam was. No one really cares about Black Adam, obviously, and what. No one really cares about Black Adam, obviously. No one really cares about Black Adam, obviously, and what. And the DC universe is just not clicking with the audience. People just don't care about the DC universe. And in my opinion, DC has a higher ceiling than what? DC has a higher ceiling than Marvel, man. I think DC has potential to be better than even Marvel. They just have to do it right. You watch Man of Steel, that's a masterpiece. You can argue Man of Steel is better than Black Panther. You can argue Man of Steel is better than what? Than Captain America, Civil War, and it's a masterpiece, Man of Steel. And that music, da 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 da, it's such beautiful music. Yeah, it's a fucking masterpiece, obviously. Man of Steel is a masterpiece, obviously. Wonder Woman 84, you can argue that's better than a lot of Marvel movies too. Yeah. Aquaman, yeah, man. DC has potential to even beat out Marvel. They just have to do it right, though. But now because Marvel is so successful, it'd be very tough for James Gunn to create a brand as successful as Marvel. But who knows? It might be just as successful as Marvel. But DC does not have to be as successful as Marvel. It just has to be successful, and they have to make good movies. So even if the first Superman movie does, I don't know, $800 million on a $125 million budget, that's still good. That's a success, obviously. But hopefully, James Gunn's movies they all do like $1 billion. They average out $1 billion like Marvel, and they create a very successful DC franchise. But even if the movie does $800 million, still successful, obviously. It doesn't have James Gunn and Peter Safran don't have to make the brand as successful as Marvel. It's very tough to do. They just have to make good movies and hopefully get fans in the theaters, and their movies are all profitable. They make a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? That way, you have a successful DC franchise, obviously. Obviously, shut my camera here.